The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Well, it sure as hell does not matter who the host is. You are listening to the Rated R Safety Show, coming to you live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. And today we are sponsored by, oh yes, you heard it once and only, by Reign. I hope I don't drop the can. Oh yeah, Reign, the energy drink. You got that right. Anyways, we're coming to you live on safetyfm.com, safetyfm.live, Twitch TV, YouTube TV, Facebook something, Facebook groups, and for some reason, I am being told, if it's working actually, we're today on LinkedIn. But it looks like we're only targeting Orlando. Greater Orlando, to be exact. Anyways, how are you? I have to tell you, I'm pissed off at the world being locked up, but I guess that's just kind of the way that it goes.
Duh.
You're seeing all these closures, all this craziness, everything that's going on inside of the world of good old safety, the good old world of worlds, the things going around the planets, and you're noticing the common theme of scarcity. You're noticing the common theme of people telling you what to do exactly. You get one thing on this channel, you get one thing on the other channel, you get another thing on another channel, and this person's correct, that person's not correct, that other person's correct, but this person's not correct. I don't know what's going on. And there might be some subject matter experts out there in regards of the topic of COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever the hell you want to call it. But I can tell you right now, as we speak, as of this moment, at 12:02 in the afternoon on March 13th of Friday, I am not an expert in what is going on. Some people are claiming they're experts, but there are a lot of people that are not. So take a look and make sure that you're getting information from subject matter experts as you have vetted them before you start jumping into all this craziness that's going out and about information-wise. Anywho, I wanted to jump in today, have a brief conversation with you, and just really give you some general information. Us do what we call the Rated R Safety Show, because that's what we're known for, especially during the time frame of the Rated R Safety Show. So as I'm taking a look at some of the things that are going on, is life going to be life as normal at this particular moment? No. Do we need to adjust to the things that are going on out there? Yes. Should you be scared? I don't think you should be scared, but you should probably have some conversations with people just in case you need to have that open dialogue, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to get the snake oil people out there that are going to sell you on everything possible, that everything's coming to an end. You're going to get all these different trends that are going to take place. Yeah, is there some probably bad times coming up? Unfortunately, yes. Is that the reality of the situation at the moment? Yes. Is there anything that we can do at the moment to change it? No. But there's some things that you can do to protect yourself and protect your family. Am I going to be able to give you all those answers? Absolutely not. But I think that you should be open-minded enough to look at local resources that are available to you, to look at local things and figure out exactly what's going to work best for what you have going on. Because I think if you start looking at the national media and start taking a look at all that, all it's going to do is cause some fear. So I will tell you, as of this morning, I have been having some conversations, not really conversations, but some interactions. Let's call them interactions. And I know I'm going a little bit darker, deeper today. But I've been having some interactions with some of the other Safety FM hosts. And what we have been talking about doing is we would like to have a town hall meeting. And yes, I know, and you are aware as well, is that we are not going to be able to meet in person. But we are talking about having a virtual town hall and address some of these things that are going on out there. Also, give you the opportunity to talk about some of your concerns. Now, we are looking for next week of getting this done. So within the next maybe hours or within the next few days, I will have information for you on what we can do. But for now, we are here today having some brief conversations. I don't want to change the format up too much, but I do want to have some conversations with you of some of the seriousness here of what's going on. But also, I don't want to change it from what we're doing. I want you to contact us if you have concerns. I want you to contact us if you have questions, because I think that that's still an open dialogue. I'm going to tell you that if you know single people, and I'm talking about single as they live alone, this is the time that a lot of people tend to get depressed, especially if they're in the lockup scenario, especially if in there's the scenario there's nobody else around them. Hey, I'm not saying invite them over. That's entirely up to you. But what I'm saying is maybe be in contact with those people, because they're going to need that interaction. They're going to need that change of pace, because them being locked up is not going to probably be the best of things at the moment. Also, if everything continues going the way that it's going, expect to see a lot of children come the new year. Hey, I'm just saying.
Duh.
A lot of action probably going on down that path, probably going to happen too. And that's not why I'm telling you to invite the single people over. You perverts, get that out of your head. Anyways, let's get you started with the Rated R Safety Show the way that we should be doing this, boy, and actually get you directly into the news.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
You know what I always love is when you actually have something go through your headphones, but actually plays on the board, and then you get both sounds coming out at the same time, and you definitely know that there was a hiccup. If it was a podcast, I would get edited out. Oh, this is a live broadcast, because that's what we do here. Live broadcast, not podcast. Anyways, let's go from the top. Just in case you didn't know, today is March the 13th, which is Friday the 13th, which is tomorrow, Saturday the 14th. But anyways, today is day 73 of the year. Only 293 days left for the remainder of the year, we're hoping. Anyways, let's go to the top of the news stories, because that is exactly what is taking place. So bringing it to you from the top of the hit list, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we got going on. President Trump will find out today if a Brazilian leader he shook hands with recently does in fact have the coronavirus. Trump met the top aide to the Brazil president at Mar-a-Lago on Saturday, and several members of that delegation now have exhibited symptoms of the disease. The aide and others were there and will have test results back today. Wanted to share that with you. There's been pictures going on online. There's been stuff inside of the news making reference to this. So we definitely had to have the conversation. We definitely had to discuss that, because this is something that did occur. It's not something that I'm making up. It's not something that I'm saying, ooh, let's talk about politics. But they did see the president with the gentleman. Now, I have not seen any pictures of him shaking the hand, but he did have a hat, meaning the president in hand, that said, "Make Brazil great again," where he only got the hat, one would imagine, by the gentleman. So something to think about, something that you'll find out, I'm sure, more of if something is to take place, of course. So think about that for a moment. Let's continue. As you are aware, this is going to be a coronavirus-filled newscast, because that's what's taking place right now throughout the world.
Duh.
So let's continue. Next story, coronavirus researchers have a new tool. Yeah, you heard me correctly, a new tool. An Energy Department supercomputer called Summit. Located at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, it's the world's most powerful supercomputer. Researchers are using it to simulate the untold different drug combinations to see if any that could actually fight the virus. So they're doing a lot of different things out there in regards of this. They're doing a lot of things on what can be done to potentially fight this virus out there. Now, I don't think we're going to have a lot of answers come the weekend, come early next week, but we're going to see some different things take place. And you're almost having to look at this like we did back in 2001, right after September 11th. Now, I'm going to tell you there's going to be a lot more restrictions now than what they were back then.
Duh.
And I'm not saying that to be a jackass. I'm just saying this is what's going to end up taking place. I can tell you that normally some big things happen here, at least where I'm at, once Disney World pulls the trigger to close down. And that's what I want to talk to you about next. The coronavirus outbreak is driving rapidly increasing numbers of shutdowns, cancellations, and closures around the country. Major venues and events that bring large groups together announced their plans to deal with this public health crisis on Thursday. So here's the information we have. Broadway is shut down per the New York governor, Andrew Cuomo. Major League Baseball has shut down practice and postponed its season. NBA, NHL, and Major League Soccer seasons have been suspended. NCAA tournament are canceled. NASCAR and the PGA Tour will continue without fans in attendance. Boston Marathon has been postponed. Ohio and Maryland schools are being closed for the weeks. For the weeks. It doesn't say when. I've heard news reports for the remainder of the month. I have heard different stories, but now it's just saying 4 weeks. So keep that in mind. The next thing, the U.S. Capitol and Washington congressional offices are now closed. And here we go. Disneyland and Disney Worlds are both scheduled to shut down. Disneyland starting after Saturday night and Disney World starting Sunday night. So, this is what the world that we're living in.
Duh.
This is the information that's going on. They are trying to avoid people in being in groups of 250 or more. I've heard some say 250. I've heard others say 400. You have to take a look at it and go, which one's going to work best for what you have going on? I don't think that me hosting this show can tell you how you should live your life. That's not what we're here for together. But we're here to have the discussion on the things that we need to start taking a look at. I'm not saying don't go grocery shopping, don't go to restaurants, whatever. Some things are saying don't go to restaurants. The grocery shopping thing you have to do. There's services that are available that will deliver to you. That's an option available. You can go yourself. You can order on the line. You can do different things. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to see change. I wish that we could sit here with a crystal ball and have that discussion, but I would be lying to you. I don't know what the future is going to bring, but there is going to be some differences from the life that we lived a few weeks ago to what we have going on now. Italy has actually closed down a good chunk of their country, border to border. I'm not saying that's going to be the case here, but we're having to take a look at the different things going on throughout the world and seeing what differences people are doing on how they're getting this to work. Anyways, let's continue. Scientists are trying to find out what caused a string of 6 earthquakes in the Northeast over the past few weeks. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the strongest was a 3.1 magnitude tremor in upstate New York and could be felt all the way as far as Albany. It is believed that this could have caused by small, undetected fault lines in the area. So now you're hearing about the earthquakes too. Now, we know that a few weeks back, there was all kinds of them that were going on in Puerto Rico as well. I don't know what's going on. one can only sit here and speculate. Let's continue down the path. States and the CDC are struggling to screen for the coronavirus. According to Yahoo News, the CDC has been testing only about 77 people a day, and that makes a total of 1,707 people tested. Meanwhile, states are struggling to process virus tests, averaging about 55 tests per state. Health officials warn the low numbers of cases in the U.S. might not be because there aren't most cases. Okay, let's try that again. Health officials warn that the low numbers of cases in the U.S. might not be because there aren't more cases out there, just because there aren't people being tested. I don't know. This is news that I'm finding. This is news that I'm giving you based on the information that I can locate out there. These are all credible news stories, or news sources, better saying, on where this is being obtained. I have avoided, since we have started the Rated R Safety Show, on creating my own news in regards to writing the article based on what I found. I want to give you the information as I find it from different sources. This way, it does not look like it's one-sided. It doesn't look like we're just coming up with it as we're actually doing the Rated R Safety Show here. So let's continue. Americans are willing to pay top dollar to keep their aging pets alive. Treatments like stem cell transplants, stents, pacemakers, and other typical use on humans are becoming more and more common in dogs to prolong their lives. Nearly half of America's 77 million dogs are at the age of 6 or older, so this trend is likely to increase. I don't know. Has there been a lot of conversations about the pet population, on how this is going to affect them with the coronavirus stuff? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. What about you?
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Anyways, a new study shows that the so-called macho men are more likely to be less healthy and socially isolated as they age. The Michigan State researchers say that the toxic masculinity, a term of the art in far... Oh my God, let's try that. I almost choked myself. A term of art in far left sociology is characterized by not showing emotion and not depending much more on others. That adds up of being left out of the rest of society, even physical health issues as years go by, according to studies. And of course, that's coming out of Michigan State University. So I definitely take a listen to them. I've been told that they know a thing or two. Hey, no shaming on plugging on, the alma mater there. Anyways, let's continue. A federal judge has ordered the release of Chelsea Manning from jail after a reported suicide attempt. Yeah, you heard me correctly there. There is no need to keep Manning behind bars, according to the U.S. District Judge Anthony Tringa. This is what they decided. Manning is in jail for leaking millions of documents, including classified ones, to WikiLeaks. So I don't know. Pretty interesting stuff there. Let's continue. As you are aware, more of this stuff is going to be related to the coronavirus. Large-scale graves have been spotted in Iran. Throughout, thought too soon, the final resting place of hundreds and hundreds of coronavirus victims in that country. Satellite images show 2 100-meter-long trenches being excavated near the site of the country's worst outbreak in the city of, it looks like Qom. Anyway, so let's try that. Iran's health ministry says that 429 have died so far, a number that could be much higher in truth. Norway is shutting down because of the coronavirus. The country's health officials announced Thursday that a broad and sweeping shutdowns of cultural venues, sporting events, hair and massage parlors, well, that's an interesting choice, gyms are being ordered to close. Schools and child care facilities are also shutting down nationwide. Most bars, restaurants, and nightclubs are also scheduled to shut down. So as you can see, We went from something that was probably scarcity not so long ago to something that's hitting everything throughout the world in our different environments. I will continue to come to you here from the Rated R Safety Show as much as I can, because I will tell you a lot of travel has been canceled. A lot of events that I was scheduled to go to have been postponed. A lot of events have been thought of not even coming back. Let's continue down the path. Thursday was another bloodbath at Wall Street as stocks plummeted again, plunging the market into bear market territory. Yeah, the benchmark of the S&P 500 plunged 9.5%, ending the longest bull market in Wall Street history. It was the S&P's worst day since 1987. The Dow fell 9.99%, also the worst drop since 1987's infamous Black Monday. Thursday's losses came in despite a kill switch triggered by declines over 7%, designed to ease panics. A $1.5 trillion infusion of liquidity by the Federal Reserve also failed to stop the sell-offs, as it did on Wednesday night's address by the President Trump outlining his plans to tackle the coronavirus. I know, it's just everywhere. There is nowhere that I see anything stopping. Today, I'm going to break my own rule, and we're going to cover a little bit about what's going on with the election, because I think it's important to discuss this today. So we're going to probably go a little bit longer than normal and cover some information that we normally don't cover.
Duh.
No doubt about it. President Trump is starting down the toughest re-election challenge yet with the coronavirus. And all of a sudden, he survived constant onslaught so far, but in just weeks, the outbreak has emerged as a tornado trashing the Trump's playbook. And I am not giving it to you from one side or the other. I'm giving the information as I found it. Add to the sudden bear market on the stock market, plunging retirement accounts and sudden risk of recession, Trump's dreams argument for re-election, the economy has turned into a nightmare. Not to mention the shockingly fast pace of the Democrat primary from the brink of embracing socialist Bernie Sanders, who now owns 3 homes, to Joe Biden viewed as one of the more acceptable to more moderate Americans. Don't like it? Just wait a few days. Everything could change again. And that's not me being an asshole. That's me just telling you what the news story says. Joe Biden went after President Trump's response to the coronavirus on Thursday in a speech rolling out his own plan to tackle the outbreak. Biden said the public fear is being stoked by the lack of trust in Trump's administration. Biden's plans wouldn't be much use to anyone's because he's not currently elected to any public office. And even if he wins, it would be a little too late because we're talking not until November. Yeah, November. Before you would see anything about him being elected, and that doesn't even go into place until January. So let's continue. The Federal Communication Commission Chief Brendan Carr believes that Rep. Adam Schiff abused his power by obtaining and publishing private phone call recorded of his political opponents, including Rep. Devin Nunes and President Trump's attorney Rudy Giuliani. Schiff kept the process secret, denying his target the rights to defend against themselves, then used the records to publicly smear the presidential allies. Carr made his case in a letter to Congress, then said a tweet that said, "These sensitive records are protected by federal law," and that Schiff's behavior raises serious concerns. Wall Street Journal columnist Kim Strauss called Schiff's actions incredible abuse of power. You see, it's everywhere. Everything's going on. Don't know what else to tell you. Let's continue real quick. Retail politics are the norm in pandemic-free America. Lots of handshaking, backslapping, and mingling with masses. Coronavirus could change all of that. Dem frontrunner Joe Biden will hold a virtual town hall on Friday. On Sunday, he and socialist Bernie Sanders are now own who now owns 3 homes, apparently this is a big thing according to this news source, will hold a debate in a studio with no audience. 2020 could be the year of virtual politics. What's next? Virtual conventions over the summer? Political experts aren't so quick to brush it off. DNC chair Tom Perez still says his party Milwaukee convention will go on as planned. But as we know, all plans are tentative when everything can change in a matter of days. I mean, just look at where we were at last week compared to this week. So let's talk about stuff that I'm not even sure if it's important anymore. But I'm going to talk about the lottery because, we talk about it every week, so not going to change that. No winner for Thursday night's Mega Million drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for $80 million jackpot or $65.4 million cash payout. No winner for Wednesday's night's Powerball drawing either. Saturday night's drawing will be for $120 million jackpot or $96.1 million cash payout. The other thing before I forget, because I know this is going to be important to some people, some major movie releases have actually been pushed back as well. I was reading last night that The Fast and the Furious has now been pushed back for a full year. It will not be coming out now till April of 2021. It originally was scheduled, I believe, for the beginning of April of this year. Full year before you get the next fix of Vin Diesel. At least in that particular movie, I believe he actually had a movie come out today. I don't know if that guy got pushed back at the last moment. Anyways, let's talk about the days of the year that you can celebrate. If you're trying to be a little bit festive today, I can understand if you're not, but let's talk about them. Blame Someone Else Day. I guess that's a good day to celebrate today. Donald Duck Day. Earmuff Day. Canine Veteran Day. National Joel Day. National Coconut Tort Day. Ken Day. National Good Samaritan Day. National Preschoolers Day. National Open an Umbrella Indoors Day, Skeptics International Day, and World Sleep Day. Wow, those are some horseshit days to celebrate.
Duh.
Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show. I am going to let you go. If you are here on the radio station, and of course that would mean the podcast as well, because we cut the radio station and the podcast at the same time. But I am going to keep you on the Twitch network, the YouTube network, the Facebook group, and supposedly the LinkedIn if we're still there as well. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to jump in and jump out. So I'm going to let you go on the radio station. So I'm going to give you the traditional disclaimer because, we have to do that because that's kind of the tradition here before we jump into anything else. So before I let you go, here's my girl, Kelly.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
And to my people at the radio station side and the podcast side, you know who I am. I know who you are. Love you, mean it, bye.
Duh.